Oh, see, again, I feel like I'm at a disadvantage because being a Libra, I like
Voyager.
I like this.
Which one? We got Enterprise. Come on. We got Deep Space Nine.
No,
Not that one.
no.
Everyone always hates on Deep Space Nine.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Weird Couch. I'm EQ, and of course, this is Fridays on the Couch. Today's gonna be a little bit different though, because it's gonna be hosted by Kris from the Weird Couch Co-op. Because in our last video, if you did not see it, go watch it. Joe made a comment that could have started an intergalactic war, and so instead of doing that, we decided to do this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand it over to Joe.
Space. Final frontier. These are the voyages of the Weird Couch. Its continuing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no social media has gone before. It's on. Kris.
I feel it. That was touching. That was just. How do you follow that? How does a person follow that? They do not. So we're going to go ahead and move right along. All right, here you go. Welcome to the Weird Couch today. I am kind of taking over. So, first off, my compadres over here have both seen the new Star Trek film. Circumstances beyond my control prevented me from seeing it in a timely fashion, so we'll go there on a later date. So first off, I want to talk about, did you guys enjoy the film? How was it from your own personal perspective, not necessarily living up to any hype or anything like that, just your own general interpretation? How was it, Ray?
And I like the way that you put that because I'm a moviegoer. If you guys, granted I haven't done Movie Mondays, but I'm a moviegoer. I enjoy going to the movies, and without taking my fandom into consideration or anything else, overall, I thought the movie was awesome. Like, a lot of people have different perspectives, and my thing is, I'm not a paid critic. Most of the people I talk to aren't paid critics. They don't even work in the movie industry. So the idea that they have these huge biases against like certain movies, I think is, insane or whatever. But that's my personal perspective on it.
All right, check this out. The movie was great. If you're an action buff, if you love action and shoot 'em up, bang, 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 great movie. I liked it. I'm not gonna lie, but there were some things about it that just didn't sit well with me. Now, I am a true Star Trek fan. I almost said Star Wars.
Come to the dark side.
Yeah, he almost just gave up the dispute before it began. No.
True Star Trek fan. So, there's some things that didn't sit well, but all in all, a good movie.
All right. That's all right. So you guys both give it 2 thumbs up, 3 thumbs up, 4 thumbs up.
I give it the good old Spock hand. Live long and prosper, bro. Because, okay, so for everybody out there, before you continue watching this video, spoiler alert, because we're going to talk about the video. We're doing spoiler alerts. So from this moment now on, all spoils. So I give it because one, they gave a shout out to Admiral Spock. And I thought that was awesome. And I don't know if they had planned that before Leonard Nimoy passed away or not, but it truly like added to the film, even though he was not actually in it. And may he rest in peace. He was I thought he was a great actor. Even like his later days and stuff like that. Like I seen him on a bunch of different shows, and especially when he's like his guest spots on like The Big Bang Theory or whatever. And then of course we have to mention Anton Yelchin. He passed away after the movie was done, and I'm really not. I was trying to watch for it, but Joe, maybe you could help me out here. At the end, where they're having like that party or whatever, I think they did the same thing they did with what's his face from Fast and the Furious, Paul Walker.
I don't think so. Like,
you think
they were done filming once they.
Okay, that's what I didn't know. If they were done filming before he got in the car accident and passed away, and awesome. I don't know if you guys have seen Anton Yelchin in his younger days or whatever, but a big shout out and to his memory and all that stuff because he was an amazing actor. I think he pulled the character off really, really well. But I'm curious here because, like I said, I know Joe. I've known Joe for a really long time, and he's the one who got me like re-interested in Star Trek because while deployed, there wasn't a lot of stuff to watch, and we got all these Haji copies, and that's not the politically correct term, but I don't mean it in a racial slur. We went to the bazaar, get all these copies, and he was like, I'm watching The Next Generation, but you can watch Voyager. And I was like, Voyager? And then he literally leaps off the deep end and starts telling about Voyager, Enterprise, Deep Space Nine, and like I was like, wow, okay, let me check out Voyager. You're telling me that there's some things you don't like. I kind of want to hear this.
Okay, now there's too many plot holes for me in the movie. Way too many. One, okay, yeah. I have to correct you. It's not Admiral Spock. It was Ambassador Spock.
Ambassador Spock. Okay, thank you.
No, he died, but
Uh-oh, shots fired.
Yeah, But there were plot holes in it, like with the villain Idris Elba, the way he played it. Like, where did his crew go? One, how did he know about the Enterprise having that artifact that it had? I mean, they tried to fill the holes and the gaps, but it just was too disjointed for me. I was like, okay, whatever. But I guess there were more stuff that I can't even think of because my brain is not firing correctly today. It's been a long day. But yeah, there's certain things that didn't sit well with me, those plot holes. But other things were great. The interaction between Spock and Bones.
Kris, when you watch it, man, I think you're gonna enjoy exactly what he just said. Because my outtake on it was watching it like you have Captain Kirk, you have Bones, and you've got Spock. Normally, it's Spock and Captain Kirk and Bones. In this movie, Bones and Spock make that connection, and now you got this trifecta of badassness. When Spock laughs, like when Bones makes Spock laugh, and then Bones is like laughing with him, like, oh, this is normal, and then he stops and was like, something's really wrong with you. Like, I'm not gonna get into this discussion with you, Joe, but just the core concept when I seen that and I noticed the same thing. It reminded me of Us Three, because I'm friends with Joe, I'm friends with Kris, but then when we went to that poker place when I was visiting or whatever, and made that connection, and then we closed the end of the triangle, and we got that trifecta thing going on, and we've had it been going on for a while now, which I think is awesome. So by default, that makes me Captain Kirk, Joe.
Moving forward, so storyline. For those that know how the previous film concluded, do you feel like this one did anything for the story? Did it contribute to it, or was this its own standalone experience?
I think it's a continuation of the previous story. I mean, at the end they did say they were going on their 5-year mission, and it's like the movie is not set on Earth. For y'all who don't know, it's not set on Earth. It's set out in deep space. So I mean, it's good to see them branching out and not following the old story. And so I guess it's a continuation for me. I like to see where they would go from here, because at this point they had been out in space, I think 3 years, and you can see how it's like affecting them emotionally. So it's a continuation for me. I like to see where they go from here.
Yeah, I do have to say I agree with that. I believe it's like a half and half kind of thing. Like, it is a continuation because the first two, set on Earth, and they got the villains and everything like that. and then this one they were on a 5-year mission. They were 3 years into it, and they were taking a detour and docking at a station, and they did really good. Like families, they were showing. I think it's a good setup movie. It gives this like a gap filler. They're dealing with something, and they went through this. Because Kirk was like, "Man, we've been out here for 3 years, and I ain't done nothing exciting. Maybe it's time for me to move on." And then Spock at the same time, because his older different version of himself, Ambassador Spock, passed away, which caused the younger version of Spock to kind of like rethink, like maybe I should be going and making little Vulcan babies. Bones kind of understood, knew both sides of the thing, and they went and this. Sorry, I'm stuttering here because this is my excitement right here. I've had this philosophy since coming back from Iraq that a lot of the viewpoints people have it's always based on experience. Okay, I believe what Krall said at the end of the movie. Without strife, without a detrimental experience to bring us together, we lose our way. Kirk's older, Spock's older. Maybe there's nothing more for this kind of life. Maybe I should start growing up a little bit, and I'm gonna get promoted, and I'm gonna settle. I'm gonna settle in life, and I'm just gonna cruise for the rest of it because I've hit my peak, And then all of a sudden, catastrophe hits, life and death situation, and they're renewed. They're okay. You know what? Maybe I still got something in me. Maybe there's still stuff out there. I can make a difference. I can make a change. I can add to the greater good.
I agree with you at the end.
Right.
The whole I guess struggle and strife makes everybody come together. We see it time and time in society. You got 9/11. Everybody bands together. All these different terrorist attacks. Everyone always bands together and shows solidarity and unity. So I didn't even catch that at the end. Honestly, I didn't. It kind of slipped past me. So I'm glad you brought that up.
All right, positive message. It's always good. Moral to the story. All right, well, let's move in a kind of a different direction. All right, so favorite Star Trek, I guess show, favorite iteration.
So for me, if I just flat out answer, it has to be Star Trek Next Generation, based on one episode in particular, and it's the episode The Traveler. But I like everything except for Deep Space Nine.
There you go. I'm a Voyager guy myself. I'm all Team Janeway. I think possibly as a child that might have helped solidify my liberal roots a bit, because you had a female captain and you had a Native American second in command. That was a pretty progressive program there. So maybe that had something to do with maybe that helped out in forming me a bit. But that's just my thing. Anyway, Joe.
All right, so my favorite. Okay, I have to agree with EQ on this one. The Next Generation is my favorite, but not for the same reason. The Next Generation is the base for me. Everything else branches out from that one. Even like the beginning of Deep Space Nine, you see the Enterprise there, okay? And like Voyager, they make numerous references to Captain Kirk and his struggle and what he's been through, especially with the Borg. So that is not Captain Kirk, excuse me, Picard. Leave me alone. I'm tripping. So Picard and his struggle with the Borg and how they need to figure out how they're going to deal with the Borg.
Okay.
That being said, I'm a true Trek fan. I even went on into the books even after the shows ended. So even in the books, Star Trek Next Generation, it continues on and it branches off. I read like Star Trek Titan, where you got Captain William Riker. He ended up being captain. Now he's an admiral and Picard's still a captain. So he's like, he outranks his former mentor. So I go deep. I go hardcore to this. And I've read all the Star Trek Voyager, because that's still going on. They made it back, and then they're going all the way out to the Delta Quadrant again to check if the Borg are gone, because the Borg actually are gone.
Really?
Yeah. Janeway died and came back.
I always wanted to know what happened after the freaking the armored freaking Voyager came home, and then they just nothing after that. Man, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Deep Space Nine. okay, it was the first black captain. I mean, first major role. So I was like, oh yes, black captain, right there in the center seat, doing his thing. So that intrigued me first of all. So I mean, it's more it's more centered around, I guess, interpersonal relationships, the way the crew interact and the way they grow emotionally. I mean, there is a background war, the Dominion War and everything, but it's mostly centered around families, and that's why I enjoyed about it.
All right, so let's continue on and change some gears again, because I'm sure we can go back and forth on this one all day. So while this will be pretty interesting, while EQ's been going hard in the paint on Star Trek, it's time to watch him do a little bit of a 180. So here's the debate: Star Trek, Star Wars. What has the richer story? What has the better mythology? What has the...
First of all, I'm so offended that he has on that Star Wars shirt. R2-D2. We talking about Star Trek, and you gonna sit here and try to represent with that Star Wars. That is totally uncalled for, and we all know that Star Trek is better. Point blank, period. I don't want to hear no argument. Just sit down, go to sleep, and think about it, dream about it. Because ain't no argument here. Now, Star Wars is all about fantasy. I mean, there's nothing based in science. And I'm a science guy. TWC SciTech, check me out. I am a science guy, science and technology. Nothing in Star Wars is based on technology.
Based in science, bro? Lightsabers. It's technology, man. Freaking everything they're flying in, the ships and stuff, the AT-ATs, and I mean, it's all there's science in there and there's technology in there. What it adds to science and technology is the, whether you want to call it magic, the mysticism, the religion, the spirituality is added into it. And because I believe the two coincide together, when they are separate, that's when we get conflict and like really bad stuff. And this is not in support of Star Trek. Okay, I'm just as a thing here. It sounds like it because, like I said, you can relate technology with Star Trek, and if you're into that kind of technology, then yes, Star Trek takes the lead because it's more tangible, it's more real world. Star Trek predicting certain technologies. Luke's not the superstar, the dreamboat. He's not anything that a young person, like a young female, or in this day and age, pretty much anybody would find as a strong male person. Would not find him attractive physically or mentally or anything like that, right? He finally gets that opportunity, and then he goes out and explores. He starts out, he's scrawny and he doesn't know anything. He's weak, basically. But through trial and error, he comes out at the end, Return of the Jedi, and he is like as close to being on point as he can.
He's talking about how it's science and then the religion and how they join together in a perfect merger of connection and enlightenment. Bullshit. All right, check this out. I need something that's tangible. All right, even every word that is uttered in Star Trek, every word can be traced back to something, science, and real world implementation. Okay, I mean, you got photons, you have neutrinos, you have everything right there. Is just like, oh, I know what they're talking about. I can grasp that. Okay, so that's what I like about it. Okay, it can be, I guess you said it can be like traced back 100 and something years. I mean, Star Trek has a great legacy too. It has a whole rich history. Like you said, Archer started off the whole thing before the Federation was even founded. That was his whole build up to the Federation. And then moving on to what's his name? Kirk. Yeah, you can be Kirk, man. Everybody's favorite captain, whatever. Kirk, and then moving on to the newer generation, the next generation, near and dear to my heart, and then branching off into the future. And they have alternate timelines and wormholes and basically anything, and it opens up the imagination. All right, anything you can think of. You got spaceborne aliens. You have not just carbon-based life forms, and they bring a whole new dynamic to the whole thing. It's amazing.
All right, fair enough. Sounds like there's no definitive answer. Well, yeah, everybody, I'm sure, both of them, but is more endeared toward one or the other. But what it sounds like I'm gathering is that each of these franchises kind of appeals to things within yourself. So, EQ's instance, it seems like you're drawing a lot from that whole science and spirituality portion of the film because that's part of your walk in life, right? Am I kind of accurate to that? And then also with Joe, it sounds like he has a strong appeal to conquest, and all of the things that happen relationship-wise that add up to, that endeavor. So, am I in the ballpark?
I'm gonna say yes. I want to say yes. He might not agree, but I'm gonna say yeah.
I'm not. It's not about conquest. No, okay. With me, I like the fact that never mind, forget it. Conquest it is.
Well, no. Is it that what the entire premise of Star Trek is? For each iteration, out there floating in space for no good reason. They're out there with purpose. So they're out there either trying to find new life. They're out there trying to find new destinations. That's conquest. Because once you get there, you also want to study it. You want to, especially human instinct is to try and master something, to be able to wield it in their hands. So not conquest in the sense that you're conquering and like collecting these things in your trophy case, so to speak, but conquest in the sense that they're constantly setting goals, working as a team to accomplish the goals, which is different than Star Wars, which is more of a drama. It's more of a it's a little bit Love Connection. It's a little bit Phantom of the Opera, and it's a little bit sorcery and magic. So there's a lot going on, in both, but they're very, very different.
We've been mentioning it, and of course, Joe wants to go ahead and talk shit before it's time. Favorite captains, guys?
Oh yeah, that is the big question. That is, yes. What is the best captain of the Star Trek universe? Yeah, I've already said Team Janeway. She was, as the kids like to say, a bad bitch. So that's who I roll with.
All right.
No, go ahead. Go
Joe?
ahead, EQ. No, go ahead. Kurt, go ahead. Say what you guys say.
All right, I do have to give it up to Janeway because she was a very badass captain. I imagine myself, if I'm going to be on the ship, Janeway's emotions, even though they got out of whack and they interfered in her ability to make certain decisions, inevitably came back around and things worked out. But for that reason, that's why Janeway is not my favorite captain. My favorite captain is Picard. Is the quintessential. I think he exhibits every single aspect of all the other awesome. The reason I was going to go with Kirk, let me caveat this. The reason I was going to go with Kirk is Kirk was a ladies' man. He was an every species man, and he was intelligent, but he also led from the front. He's like, you know what? Let's freaking go on an away team. Let's freaking take some stuff, and then afterwards, let me sleep with the green alien because she's hot. That's awesome. Picard takes it because Picard just. He's an old dude, He's not a young, spry dude, running around or whatever. He was an old dude when he was a captain. He didn't need to. He was like the definition of what an alpha male would be. Whatever. He'd just sit back in his chair. Some fucked up alien would be on the screen threatening his ass, and he'd just be like, and? If you don't, leave now, we're going to hand your ass to you. You know what I'm saying? He went into every situation calm but confident. Even when he took on with Q, I think the other captains, if they faced off with Q, they would have lost. They would have lost that trial, but Picard did not.
All right. Well, hashtag any species man. If you're watching, let's get that going. So let's get Joe in here. Let's get Joe in here to reinforce the statement.
All right. So check this out. Yes, I completely and totally, wholeheartedly agree with EQ on this one. Picard is the man. He is wise. He's a strong leader. He wasn't about blindly following orders. He questioned them. He had his own mind. I mean, he followed the prime directive, but when it didn't fit the situation, he was like, okay, we're gonna have to bend this a little bit and tweak it. He was amazing, and you could see him grow from the beginning. How he wasn't a family man. all the way to the end where he's like he can deal with families and he considered his crew his family. The way Sir Patrick Stewart played him, he ended up getting an award for the way he's like, there are 4 lights. Yeah, amazing, amazing. I don't know if he said 4 or 3, but either way, mind blown. But yeah, so Picard, hands down, I don't care if he's not a ladies' man or whatever, the epitome of a leader, of a captain. And he took everyone under his wing. He molded them. Everyone was loyal to that man because they knew he would lay down his life for them. Picard.
There you go. There you have it. Sounds like I'm outnumbered. Team Janeway, though. She approached it the correct way as well. She was a strong leader, and she had a great crew. I really, Chakotay. Anyhow, all right, so we're going to wrap this up, guys. Thank you for joining us on the Weird Couch, Fridays on the Couch this week. These are my partners, Joe and EQ. Before we wrap this up, what games you guys playing?
Oh man, so right now I've been getting on the Black Ops 3. I got the Division and I got Destiny downloaded, but until we do a game cast with like Destiny, I kind of staying off of it because I put in so much work on the 360.
Bring back Sparrow Racing League. Bring back Sparrow Racing League.
And I've been putting in that work on the Black Ops 3 because it's amazing. I did not know what I was missing playing it on the 360. So.
Right on, Joe.
Pokemon Go. That's right. I've been on it.
All right. Glad you jumped on.
But I did get on the Xbox One and I was playing some Quantum Break for like 2 seconds, but then I had to go catch something. I was trying to find that elusive Mewtwo.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. You can find me on Xbox Live, Young Toff, all day on the Weird Couch Co-op. My boy Joe, he's on the Weird Couch Side Tech. He's the owner of the Weird Couch, and we're here just visiting. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed the show today. Check us out. Go back, check out the old videos, and stay tuned for the new ones. Like, subscribe, share, whichever order those things go in. And shout out to Stockton.
Live long and prosper.
Thank you all for the support, and we'll see you next week on Fridays on the Couch. Anyway?
That's right. A little off the rails is okay. A little off the rails.
Yeah, a little off
Give
the
them a
rails.
little bit of a glimpse into, the speed bumps along the way. That whole thing.
Yeah.